Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Very happy that you're here. Happy Navratri. I think there's one day left. It's gonna end tomorrow. It's gonna end on the 24th, so it's probably ending in different places now. But anyways, happy Navratri. And I'm just on here just to give an update. It's been 2 weeks since the store shut down. And I'm at the new placement for now. And, I'm really grateful for that. But unfortunately, there's not going to be a position for me in that store, in my department. There might be something in the bakery, but I just, after about 9 years of being in this department and there's really nothing else open around me. So in terms of those positions of what I'm currently really qualified for. So for the first time, I'm really considering the severance, and, I have been wanting to leave and start my own thing. I'm 46 years old, and, I have ambitions outside of working for other people. So I think this is the time to do it and really have a go at it and really create the life that I want. And I know it's not easy, but I think for me, it's like more and more of an unfolding of like a life worth living in a way. I don't want to cherry pick this because it has been very difficult. My OCD is nuts. It's like really hampering my work in a lot of ways. Actually, it's not hampering my work. I'm still doing my job and it's totally fine in that way, but it's just getting worse internally, and with intrusive thinking, intrusive thoughts, and my anxiety is through the roof. My body is in constant panic. Oh my God. And so sorry, this lighting is variable right now. I'm just trying out the moving thing because frankly, I just got really tired of sitting down at two spots. And and I got some editing software. It was like $50 for a year. And so maybe I want to start playing around with that. And anyways, so 46 years old, different part of life now. And so I feel like I'm at a place, honestly, the last time that I was unemployed was over 10 years ago. And I got this job in rehab, which I think I've mentioned 5 different times in other videos. But, it's just kind of a little bit of trauma from the last time I was unemployed, because it's when the financial crash happened and I was pretty deep into my, self-harming behaviors, and just a lot of there was family members that passed away and just getting sick, and just all kinds of things were happening, and I couldn't really discern between anxiety, depression, and all that stuff versus my real thoughts. And anyways, it was just a total mess. And so I am nervous, but it's good. It's like someone said, it's kind of forced growth. So I think it'll be growth, if nothing else, I guess. Let's go with that. But so that's kind of the update. So I might actually, I'm still going to look for jobs. I still, it's really interesting because Care Bear mug. I'm drinking cold brew. So, okay, really quick aside. So the store closed on Friday, and they announced that on Saturday it's going to be 50% off everything in the store. And this store never has those kinds of deals. It's a certain kind of natural food store, and it just never has this kind of these kinds of deals. And so whatever didn't sell Saturday. They then announced on Sunday that it was going to be whatever was left is 60% off. And then whatever was left on Monday was 70% off, except for the liquor. I think the liquor stayed at 50% off. But that, I was just like, it was totally insane. But I got some really good coffee grounds, and we have an in-store grinder. So I got like 3 or 4 bags of like what's normally like $20 coffee beans for like, you know, half off. And then we got to use our discount on top of that. So that was pretty amazing. And so I've been making my own cold brew. Okay, making meaning like you just steep it. So like I'm doing anything, I'm just steeping. Anyways, it's been really fun to try these different coffees. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And so I was telling y'all something else that I totally forgot about. But what I'm gonna do now is I wanted to show you the decks that I was using because it's like Navratri season. You know, this is another thing. Like I have been feeling pretty lost because there's so many different changes, and you know, with everything going on in the world, it was just like a lot of things. It's happening for everyone. But you know, like Friday, they told us that the store was closing. Saturday is when it was like right around Friday, Saturday is when the Israel Hamas, you know, conflagration, that kind of like situation started. And then like the third day, so I was gonna go, the trip that I was gonna take in December was to Egypt. I haven't gone anywhere in like 10 years. And for 7 or 8 of those years, there was like, you know, a specific reason, but like, I did go to India once with my mom, but that was it. And I just haven't really, I used to travel all the time, like all over the world. So I finally decided to go somewhere in December. And so then Friday, the store closed. Saturday, Israel Hamas. And then like the next day I was like, well, you know, I can still go to Egypt. They're not involved. And then I read how there was a cop who basically murdered 3 Israeli tourists at a tourist spot in Egypt. So I was like, it's probably, you know, just not a good idea for me to, you know, I'm going on my own. I'm going as part of a tour group. I contacted the tour group. I contacted Turkish Airlines. I did all these things, and they're just keeping to their policy of like no refund. And of course, so all of this to say that I have pretty much decided not to go to Egypt. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's okay to go. I'm sure a lot of people are going, but just like traveling again on my own, you know, and just like spending more money, like the money I would spend there, and even just the slight, because I'm flying into Cairo and I would be flying out of Cairo, and you know, they can ground planes for a few days. Like they could just say like, okay, we're not flying out of here. Like, no, for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know. And I don't really want to get stuck. So anyways, so now I'm not going on the trip. So there's like all these like things happening, one right after another. It's just really odd. So yeah, I've been feeling like pretty lost. And, you know, like I have like 2 or 3 really good friends, which I'm so grateful for. But yeah, it's, you know, I've been feeling lost, and like, you know, like growing up, you know, I grew up in a very Indian household and all these things, and we would go to parties around Navratri and Deepavali in the temple, and just like I had parents who were really involved in those communities and stuff. So, you know, and just growing up, I would have some friends who had functions, and I've just been out of the community for so long. And, you know, it's like, it's not, I'm not like saying that it's, you know, like I couldn't be a part of a community, which I definitely can be still. I really haven't been, and I don't really know why, and I'm really feeling those effects now. I mean, I've always felt them, but it's just adding to kind of that feeling of a slippery slope right now. And, you know, I'm luckily still, like, I did have therapy this morning, and there's just over, like at work, you know, again, like I'm just like the anxiety is just so high, and, you know, yeah, so there's a lot to do between now and my last day there, if that's the final decision that I make, and it's beginning to look that way. So, but what I wanted to say was, like, because it is Navratri season, I pulled these two decks out. The Marigold Tarot, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know about. It's actually the second or third deck that I got after the Marielle in 2015. And then this one I got, I think last year, maybe the year before, but I thought they made a really good pairing. And the Marigold Tarot is like the Punjabi Sikh culture, and it's by Amrit Brar, and it's a really good deck. I like the cards, I like the minimalism of it. I like the representation of the Punjabi Sikh community, and it's really good. And I like how she used the skeletons. And then I took French for 5 years, so I thought, ooh, and I really like the art in this one as well. And I might have pulled this out in another video, I don't know. But I think I heard about this from The Waves of My Soul, her channel. Maureen, is that her name? She's French, but she does her videos in English, and it's just really cool. I think these go very well together. So yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. And then The Feminine Macabre is a book. It's like an anthology, and it's essays from different authors, and it's a woman's journal of all things strange and unusual. So this is the second volume that I've gotten. I followed the creator of this anthology for a few years, I think, on Instagram, and then she came out with this. This might be her second or third volume, but I think it's such a cool idea. The first one, I mean, some of the stories were okay, and I got the second one, and I kind of read through it, and I don't know, like, maybe I was expecting something else, so I was actually going to, like, resell it to Half Price Books or something. But I don't know, I came across that pile again because I hadn't donated anything yet. And I thought, you know, it's the season. I'm gonna give it another go and see how it is. But yeah, it's just like The Feminine Macabre, you know, a woman's journal of all things strange and unusual. And I'm so into, like, the, you know, the folks who experience the paranormal without even looking for it, you know, because I think that I'm just so fascinated with it, because I feel like, you know, when it comes to evidence or evidentiary or, you know, cases that have sort of, like, I don't want to say more tangible, but, like, you know, like people who just, like, people who don't go looking for these things, but, you know, just experiences that happen, and from all over the world, and hearing those stories from people all over the world, I'm, like, kind of, like, really, really intrigued and love it. I love it so much. And I think sometimes, a lot of times when it comes to these things, the only evidence you really need is when it happens to you. And I just love hearing the story, and I love hearing the stories, and I love hearing, again, which is why I really like the podcast Spooked. It's just really interesting to hear the point of view of people, because they also recall like stories from like childhood and they're retelling these stories as adults. Or it might be like one removed, like a brother telling about a sister who had these experiences, or, but it's usually from the point of view of the person who directly experienced the like the paranormal situation or whatever. So it's really funny because I'm also like terrified of it, but also just like, so I don't even want to say intrigued. It's more like it's almost like it shows so much vitality of who we are as humans, and like what this world is actually made of, even if you can't see it, of things that are still very real, even if we as humans cannot physically see them with our eyes, and how our senses are vital, but they're also latent, right? Like it takes time to develop abilities where you're kind of detecting things that your senses may not automatically pick up on or are not practiced at. Anyways, I just wanted to come on here and say hi and give y'all an update. If anyone was wondering, I don't know. But I hope all of y'all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.